Yes.
Hello, and welcome to the Black Dice Society. This is episode 4, The Lost Girl. Finn, as you made your way creeping out of the barn, leaving your friends sleeping peacefully and slipping into the cold, dark, twisted wilderness of Barovia, you can't help but feel that you're being led along a certain path as the very mist along the forest floor seems to part before you as you move through, twisting and turning. The shapes of strange, large beasts loom in the darkness just out of view. You catch the odd glimpse of a black haunch or thick fur or a single twig snap as the undeniable sensation that you are not alone starts to sweep over you until you make your way after some time into a clearing. And when she enters into that clearing, what does she see?
She sees more of the wolves that she encountered earlier, just kind of staring at her as if they expect something.
Count von Zarovich, what manner of reception have you prepared for your guest?
The beasts of the Svalich woods, the children of the night, the wolves, encircle the clearing. Thrice they pace, widdershins and then opposite, in absolute silence. And then they part. Who are you? Why are you here? And why have you brought that weapon into my home?
I know we haven't spoken in a while, but you don't remember me.
Remind me, I meet so many.
Then we spoke once. You made me an offer.
Ah. You travel in the company of some questionable colleagues.
Well, we do what we must.
Do you?
For now, yes.
Well, we'll see. I do remember now, and I remember the offer. You have come to destroy your nemesis, the caller.
Yes.
This is not the first time the caller has been in my domain. Perhaps it will be the last.
If I'm successful, it will be.
So you are determined to go through with this.
Yes, I knew what I was doing when I left and brought this with me.
I doubt that, but it is of no matter and no moment. Welcome to Barovia. What do you think?
It's interesting. The darkness reminds me of home. Not much sun. I like it.
Your companions do not yet know that you have arrived to join them.
They knew I joined them, but they don't know where I am right now. I just said I had something to do, and I'd meet them.
You haven't told them about our conversation.
Of course not.
And how are you now resolved on the matter that we discussed?
I'm resolved that if it pleases you and it doesn't disrupt whatever plan you have, I would actually stay as I am. There are benefits to having a foot in each world.
Disappointing, but not surprising.
How have I disappointed?
I thought you would take the path of wisdom. But several of your compatriots may prove wiser than you. They each desire something that they can achieve here and only here. Power, revenge, love, and truth.
Might I ask, if you would indulge me, which is the path of wisdom? And if I change my mind, would that still be open to me?
You cannot have your cake and eat it too, Fen.
Fair enough.
I ask you again, why have you brought this weapon, this sword, to my home?
To defeat the caller.
Finn,
I do not. Yes.
when you say that, the scabbard begins to rattle and a red light begins to grow from the blade inside the sheath. An offensive thing, Count von Zarovich.
I reach back and pat it soothingly. You'll get fed eventually. Not here, not now.
No, not here and not now. If you value not only your own existence, but that of your colleagues, I tell you now, do not draw it except to slay your nemesis.
That
Any
was
other
only,
purpose will go badly for you here.
that was my intent, and I know it's going to go badly when or if I make it back to Isolde.
You do not understand the separation of powers. You can have her if you want her. The price will be excessive, but it can be done. Tell me, how do you intend to slay the caller? I have brought her here. I have kept my word.
Found out if she or he or they will face me. If nothing else, I will let my friend here take their head because that's its purpose.
Of all of them, you are closest to myself. 1 foot in each world, yes, but still you know something of this existence.
I do.
How will they react when they are offered that which they crave?
My companions, you mean?
Tatiana, she wishes to defeat Soth. Boring, but understandable. Valentine desires power, although not for the reasons most would ascribe to her. Desmond, I have what he seeks, but I don't think he really wants it. And as for Uriah, I will deal with him soon enough.
What of Nahara?
Nahara seeks the truth, and she will find it here. Nahara belongs here, as none of you do.
Well, hopefully learning the truth will bring her peace.
It is possible, I suppose. It is not a mature goal. However, all will unfold soon enough. First things first, the caller. It's here. They are here.
What is the price for pointing me to them?
I have done what I said I would do. I brought it here. I saved your precious Veronica. It seems to me that I am owed some repayment now.
Very well.
It is not like putting it in a cage. My land is as it is.
What would
You
you
must
have
find it yourself.
All right. It'll make the chase all the sweeter.
I approve.
And what would
I
you
hope
have
you
in
win.
payment? I hope I do too.
Repayment.
Yes.
That is easy enough. When the time comes, and you will know the time, do nothing. Do not interfere, Fen. Let it happen.
All right.
Good luck and good hunting.
Thank you.
And with that, the wolves resume their circling, thrice around in each direction silently, always watching Fen as they circle. Once, twice, thrice, and then there is only mist.
Finn,
Yes.
as you stand there in the darkness, you get an odd sense that perhaps more time has passed than you think it has, or perhaps you've traveled a greater distance than you realized, or maybe both. What would you like to do now?
From where I am, can I tell how to get back to camp?
Just how, well, actually, let me just ask one last question. Count von Zarovich, you made a point of making sure she could find her way to meet you. Do you have any concern whatsoever about how difficult it will be to get back?
I can afford to be magnanimous. The mists and my children will guide her.
And so the mists and Count von Zarovich's children will guide you safely back. And hello, and welcome to the Black Dice Society, episode 4, The Lost Girl. Thank you so very much to Jason Carl for gracing us with his presence as Strahd von Zarovich. Don't worry, you guys are all going to get to spend some time with the Count sooner than later. But in the meantime, let us introduce who you beautiful people are, beginning with the person we've met already, Finn.
Hello, I'm Finn, your drow dump here, blood hunter with a little bit of beast in her, and maybe a little bit of warlock. Pronouns are she, her, and I'm Cypher Terror Online.
And Brother Uriah.
Hello, I'm Mark Meir. I use he, him pronouns, as does my character, Brother Uriah Macabre, Cleric of the Grave, and Worshipper of Ezra, Lady of the Mists.
And Nahara.
Hello, everyone. I'm Nora Ibrahim. You could find me everywhere at Norological, and tonight I play Nahara, who is a reborn Fallen Azamar undead warlock with a few levels of College of the Spirit Bard, here for all your creepy Taroka deck readings.
Valentine.
And both our pronouns are she, her.
Hi, I am Sage Ryan. Tonight I am playing Valentine. Valentine is a reborn aberrant mind sorcerer with just a dash of rogue, and we both use she, her pronouns.
Desmond.
Oh, hi. I'm DJ Knight. I'm playing Desmond, a human ranger lycanthrope. Our pronouns are he, him. You're awesome. Thanks for hanging out with us.
And last but certainly not least, Tatiana.
Hello, I am Becca Scott. You can find me at the Becca Scott. My pronouns are she, her, but here I am Tatiana, barbarian, druid, all woman, she, her.
B. Dave Walters, he, him. Although I guess in the fullness of time, I'm a little bit of everything when I'm sitting in this seat, but at least I myself, he, him. Before we go on any further, I'd like to say a quick thank you to our sponsors. We have a few of them. First and foremost is Die Hard Dice, which again, our I hit him. Hang on. Boom. Our Dark Lord Dyers, there you go, are available now. They are super, again, you can get a feel for what they are in like multiple people's hands, because, you know, they look really little when I hold them, you know, so there they are. They're pretty good. They're chunky babies. Those are available now, and also you can use code BDS to get 10% off of those and all sorts of other dope things at dieharddice.com. There is Warriors of Waterdeep. Code should be appearing in the chat. There's a real chance I messed that one up. I'm going to try and make it right. If I messed it up, let me know and I'll fix it. But maybe I didn't. Even I don't know. We're all about to find out. But the Idle Champions code definitely should be correct, because that I didn't mess up. And our TeePublic store, again, is live. Hats, masks, mugs, journals, pillows, anything you can think of. T-shirts, you can get at our TeePublic store. Secret Lab chairs, you know I love mine. It's like riding around on the couch. There it is, you know. 9 out of 10 clerics of Ezra agree. Yeah, don't trust that 10th guy. Don't trust that 10th guy. And again, we still have our museum quality art prints for our BDS art there from Adam Schubert, which is incredible. Exclaim BDS art. I'm just saying Valentine's is coming up, and maybe if you got somebody some dope art like this, and
I'm sorry, what holiday?
Maybe they're not the one.
Take it back. Make it about me.
Every day is Valentine's Day, right?
Thank you.
I did think it was about you. I was confused.
Thank you.
true.
It is.
I mean, at least it's not, you know? So, yeah, I think that pretty much covers it here. So, why don't we get on with our show? In the village of Barovia, having made your way into town with the assistance of Lucio the Vistani and Rose, who only ever wanted to be your friend, you all made your way into town following along a sound of someone moaning and wailing, and entered into the house of a woman who was crying and holding a very old, worn doll that seems made out of, quite frankly, a creepy patchwork. And as she came down the stairs, all she said to you was, "You'll help me find my daughter, right?"
Of course, if we can help, certainly I'm sure we will.
Gertruda wouldn't leave. Gertruda doesn't leave. Gertruda never leaves.
Gertruda, this is your daughter?
Yes.
It looks like Gertruda did leave.
No, she wouldn't, and she would not have left without her doll. She would not have left without her doll. It was mine, and I gave it to her when she was growing up.
When was the last time you saw her?
A week?
Have you gone looking for her?
Yes, of course. Yes. Of course. Why, but where would she go? She doesn't leave. She never leaves. She never leaves. She never leaves.
All right. Did you have a fight or anything?
No. I loved my girl. I did everything for her. I doted on her. She was my pride.
Why did you use past tense?
She's gone.
Please, we're just trying to determine how we can help. In conversation with her, I'm going to be trying an insight roll.
Mm-hmm. Insight. Go ahead and roll it.
That is a 23.
You detect no deception from this woman,
What about
Brother Uriah. But
her mental state is what I'm trying to get a handle on.
Disconnected. She seems very adamant about the fact Gertruda never left. Gertruda never leaves.
Well, certainly, I'm sure Gertruda, would not leave of her own free will. But, let us hope that no foul play has occurred.
And I'll just kind of...
You don't think anything... No, of course not. No, surely, nothing would happen. No.
Pardon, sorry. What was your name again?
Mary.
Mary.
They call me Mad Mary. But Mary.
I
No,
lean over to Desmond and I'm like, I'm pretty sure Mary murdered her daughter.
Mary. Gertruda never left, of course. Why not?
Oh, I kept her safe. I kept her indoors, where nothing bad could happen to her.
Told you.
Okay.
Understood. Where is your house?
You were in her house.
Oh, we're actually in it. Okay.
You like physically, like she was crying. You kind of came in the house.
Came in. Okay.
If I may, how old is your daughter? A child?
Oh, 17?
Ah.
Ooh.
And you
But she would
never...
not go anywhere without her doll. And she holds out this really kind of jank, malformed doll. And all of you see there is a tag, a very old worn tag that says, "Is no fun, is no blinksy." With odd offset eyes. She wouldn't.
I'm going to send a message to Valentine. All right. Something is amiss here, right? I mean, she's 17. She should not be...
It's Mary. Mary is amiss. It's entirely Mary.
Yes.
If the kid did leave and didn't get by mother, then it's for the best by far that she is not here.
All of you give me investigation checks.
Lovely.
That does not include Fen, correct?
No, Finn has not arrived yet.
Alrighty.
11.
11.
15.
15.
13.
14.
24.
24. Valentine. Quite frankly, you've been around your fair share of scenes of violence. You've seen a couple things. There is no overt indication that there's been sign of a struggle here. There's no indication that, someone was killed or chopped up or buried under the floorboards, or kind of the mental checklist of like, where would this like woman put her daughter if she was still here?
Right. I'd like to just slip out of the group if I may, I may try to sneak out to the best of my ability. Actually, you know what? I'll do one better than just try to sneak. I will actually cast, like I have invisibility on myself. And I will just slip on out, and I'm going to look for what would be a daughter's bedroom.
Would be upstairs.
Excellent.
I
will try to sneak on upstairs.
Perfect. I mean, it's rough because the floors are creaky, but I mean, still, with you see the moment she looks away and you're gone, it's almost like she loses track of the fact that you were there, and she's like, "You, sir, Desmond." She's looking at you. You look like a woodsman, some sort of tracker. Maybe you could look into it for me. I don't have much by way of coin, but
I'll think about it. Then just kind of look to see what the rest of the party thinks about this before I make a choice.
She wouldn't leave. She never leaves.
Desmond, I think she's free now.
I can't make any promises, but I'll think about it.
Valentine, as you make your way up to that top, to the second story into her room, I will put this in with your previous investigation. You can see again, downstairs, the house is a very meager hovel. Upstairs, it is a slightly less meager hovel where you can see there's at least been every effort has been done to try and appease someone or make someone comfortable. But you realize it is a room that is probably befitting about a 6-year-old girl. Things are worn and tattered, very clearly secondhand, very clearly many things that have just been in the family for generations. And you can see where the boards on the windows, because most of the places in the village of Barovia are boarded up.
Yes, and still boarded up.
Still boarded up. Also recall Brother Uriah's undead sense had indicated to you a number of them have undead inside in some of these boarded residences. You get the distinct impression the boards were removed from the windows here from the inside. They've been put back up again.
Okay. Other things that I'm looking for specifically, any kind of journal or diary, generally next to the bed, under any kind of like hay strewn together version of a mattress under the bed?
Nope. No
any
such
kind of
thing.
writings? Any kind
If
of carvings of days on the wall crossed through?
If lost, return to nope. It's give me insight, Valentine.
All right, that is a 16.
Let me just see something here. Actually, Tregram perks up in your ear and is like, "Oh, dear, this does seem rather open and shut, Valentine. It seems like this troubled woman apparently tried to keep her daughter, an infant, indefinitely, and she had her fill of it. I personally think you should tell her that she's lucky that her daughter didn't just cave her head in with a club and chose to at least escape and leave her alive."
Although I agree, that's awfully bold of you, Tregram.
I've attempted to learn from your example, Valentine.
What makes you feel so strongly about this situation?
Well, just like you have a certain insight into human nature, why someone does what they do, and how to get them to do what we would desire. Everything here. I mean, there's the boards that have been pulled off. There's this. If she says her daughter is 17, I mean, look, Valentine, you had that doll when you were 4 years old. I remember your memories. That's not something that a growing woman should have.
We'll revisit the concept of you knowing my memories later.
No, I just want to make sure that I have the most possible context to serve you to the best of my
actually, be
ability.
quiet about it. Okay, great. I'm going to slip back downstairs.
Valentine, for what it's worth, she doesn't have the look of a killer in her eye. We know it well.
Walking back down the stairs. Invisibility has dropped. It's only a minute. Valentine's just walking back down, very obviously stressed.
You see, like, Mary turns around and looks at you like she's surprised. Like, oh, I apologize. I'm sure it was quite a mess upstairs. I haven't.
Yes,
You wanted
I'm
help
sure-
looking for your daughter, so.
I'm sure my comrade was just investigating. I wonder, might I see that doll again?
No, she very much hands it out to you.
Does anything about the tag, would Uriah have heard anything about these Blinsky dolls or toys?
You can give me history, Brother Uriah.
Doesn't look like anything to me.
Just an old, worn, handmade doll. It's very old, Uriah. You even just looking at it, you realize it was probably Mary's, if not someone even before her.
Yes, I think she'd mentioned that. Well, we will certainly, in our travels, keep our eyes peeled for Gertruda, and hopefully no one actually peels our eyes. Well, good day to you.
Just looking around the walls.
Right? You'll send her right home.
Definitely not. No, but we'll let you know. She said.
Tatiana.
We'll try our best. Looking around the walls in particular, are there any like drawings or paintings or any renditions of her daughter that we may see what she looks like?
Nope. It is basically a hovel with a slightly next level hovel on the second floor. Yeah.
Got it. What does your daughter look like?
Oh, she's
Does she wear anything in particular?
Oh, she's beautiful. She has gray eyes. She has brown hair. She is very fair to look at.
Right.
It's her eyes. You'll know her eyes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we shall certainly try our best, right, everyone?
Absolutely.
I'm like nervously
being
walking
honest.
back.
You know, as you start kind of, even nervously, like, yeah, we'll do our thing. It's almost like she loses track of the fact that you're even there. And she sort of just like looks down at the doll and she's like, let's go look for Gertruda again. She's probably back by now, and turns and walks up the stairs.
We should go.
So as soon as we get out, I'd like to have a quick powwow with the group.
Mm-hmm.
If we're outside, I'll just say, okay, so
Absolutely.
From what I saw upstairs and what I heard out of her mouth, I would say there are two possible options. One is that she has been keeping her daughter essentially hostage and under the guise of safety. Or the second is that her daughter has been gone since she was the appropriate age for these things, and her mother is completely mad and hasn't realized it.
I never thought about the second one. I think it's definitely the first one. She kind of told us that herself.
She did freely admit to being known as Mad Mary.
Right. That's concerning, yes.
Either option definitely confirms that, but maybe her daughter's been gone for a long time. Maybe her daughter wasn't seen last week.
Here's what I think. She was crazy and did keep daughter hostage, but does not mean that daughter is not missing.
Right.
True. I think we should keep our eyes out for Gertruda. Not necessarily saying we're going to return her to her mother's charge, but she may well actually be in trouble.
Can I do a quick check? Hold on. I run around the exterior of the hovel just to see if there's any windows, if it looks like there's unusual footprints coming in or out.
Give me
you said no struggle inside, right?
Give me no struggle inside. Give me survival check. Desmond, you can give me survival also.
Yeah. I'm going to double boop with some distance guidance.
Double guidance?
On both of these. Pew pew.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm very good at these things. I got a 12.
17.
Even with the additional?
Did you add that D4 to it, Tatiana?
What? Oh,
I gave you guidance.
Desmond,
you know what?
Too.
I also have guidance.
Yeah.
Extra D4.
Yes.
I mean, I also have can perform guidance. I just forget it's a thing. Hey, no, it's 13.
It helps when you get guidance from someone else.
I will also give myself guidance.
Well, no, you only get the one.
Just checking.
Because if you're guiding yourself, it's just the thing you were going to do. So, but that's true. This is divine guidance. Desmond, how did it come out?
21 after
21?
after the guidance.
Tatiana, you basically detect on the outside of the house the exact same thing that Valentine detected on the inside of the house. It's like in kind of the mold and dry rot, there's some signs that somebody probably scrambled down the side of the house from the window that was up on the second floor. Desmond, you're able to actually pick up her scent and even a couple of faint footprints. It's tough because it is muddy and cobblestoney and lots of people still walk around here. But it seems like her tracks come out of the house and they go about 50 feet and they just stop. And her scent stops. Like she just disappeared on this spot.
I immediately parlay that to the team because you don't just disappear unless you either got into a vehicle of some sort, maybe a carriage, or just the spirit.
Or you can levitate.
Or something flying snatched her away.
True, but considering we have multiple people here that can fly, I mean...
Meanwhile, Finn. It's always difficult to tell about the passage of time in this place, that you journey through the woods guided by the mists and fog and these always out of reach gigantic wolves until you come through an opening of trees and your eyes spy a small, well actually not small, mid-size village. It is very, very early in the morning. And along the path, a cobblestone path, you see a carriage that has burned almost down to ashes. And you see Lucio the young Vistani that was helping you, and he is standing next to it with a large stein.
Lucio?
Where'd you come from?
That's not important. Why are you just standing here drinking next to this?
Well, okay, so we had a little misunderstanding with the carriage. I mean, just don't even, it doesn't matter. But I wanted to make it up to them, and I lined up everybody to get some drinks over at the Vine Tavern. Some of my cousins run it. They'll be able to have whatever they want. I was just waiting for them to come back. Wait, they might not come back if the carriage is destroyed, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, well, they went this way. Hey, you want, I know it's early.
No.
But, you know.
What's in there?
I don't know, but it's strong.
I think I'll pass until I find my friends.
Well, it kind of went this way. And after a few minutes, you do see up ahead your companions are sort of standing around in a circle discussing something. But you all hear Lucio say, hey, I got us food and drink and lodging. My cousins have a bar. They got a bar. It's over there. Come on. They'll give you a deal. Just get Tatiana, I know you're hungry. You can't still be mad at me. Come on.
I ignore him completely.
Question: Do we see Fen with?
You do see Fen still walking along with him. Mm-hmm.
Fen, there you are. Are you all right?
Fine.
Also, we don't trust him anymore.
He burned our conveyance to the ground, actually, at the orders of.
Excuse me. To be fair, it was my conveyance that I burned to the ground.
That's true. We were simply using it to get around, to be conveyed from one place to another.
Your life is ours. Don't forget it.
Ben?
Yes.
Just asking to see if you were able to take care of whatever you needed to take care of.
Yeah.
Fen,
For now.
There's news, rather pressing news.
About?
Excuse me. No, not out here. Not out here. Could we just go to the bar? It's right over there. And he does point, and you see the Vine Tavern. You don't want to do that out here.
Maybe people don't spend a lot of time outdoors.
Listen, excuse me. If it's something shady, Valentine can kill me. Can we just go?
Correct.
Can I just buy you drinks in stew?
Do you have anything better than stew?
You had me at stew.
You had me at drinks.
All right.
I sent a telepathic message to Tatiana that was just like, he's working way too hard to get us in here. Stay on alert.
Interesting. I tried really hard to ignore him. He was even talking about food the first time, but that time I ignored him. But then he said stew specifically.
I totally understand. I think you're doing great. Good work.
Thank you.
And I just look at him like, I will kill you if you are doing something shady.
I know you will, she will, everyone will. Come on.
We all are very capable of killing.
I know. I've seen you do prodigious violence.
I probably would not, but I would be quite upset. Very cross indeed.
You know, in that accent.
You don't want to get on his bad side.
I'm sure, what's that, the anger of a peaceful man or whatever. I don't know. Can we just, come on. And he does turn and starts walking towards the Vine Tavern.
Uriah, I think if he died and then became undead, you would kill him so good.
Well, I wouldn't technically be killing him then. I would be destroying him or putting him to rest.
You do see...
You need a drink.
When he says that, when you say that, he actually stops and he turns around and he looks at you, Uriah, and he's like, no, really. If they get me, you've got to destroy me, right? Like,
yes.
Don't leave me like that.
Standard operating procedure.
I've heard, and he does get very close in your bubble, Uriah, stinking heavily of whatever is in this cup. I've heard, with at least some undead, if you kill them and then raise them again, they come back to being a human and not undead. Is that true?
Well, it would depend. Certainly, much more powerful magics are usually required for that sort of thing. A simple revivify, I don't think would actually do the trick. You'd probably need a true resurrection, certainly beyond my. We should go to the end.
As we're walking
We
in,
should
I
go.
would like to just slip in between Brother Uriah and Nahara and say, "What was that again, Brother Uriah, about it being more acceptable to kill the undead?"
Well, again, I'm referring to the mindless versions thereof. Ghoul, for example, those consumed by an all-consuming hunger for the flesh of the living and the innocent. I think we have established that there are shades of grey that were not evident to me earlier in my career.
You see Nahara definitely side-eye Valentine when he's talking about undead. Mm-hmm.
And then
Right.
Uriah kind of clues in and looks at both of you and goes, "Oh, no, of course I would never. I would never."
You know,
Correct.
Ben is just walking with Desmond going, will you be able to tell me what exactly happened? Because no one is giving me an actual update. Oh, no.
Oh yeah, though. But oh yeah, though.
As you all approach the tavern, like everything in the village of Barovia, you can tell there probably was a time it was really nice. You can see the craftsmanship on the exterior of it, and in fact it probably was once very colorful and pretty, but those days have long passed. It is worn and dilapidated, and now when you open up the door, there is a blazing hearth with just a few people sort of nestled up against it for warmth, because you can never quite shake the chill in Barovia. There are 3 dark-haired women sitting right by the door that the moment Lucio comes in, he just goes, "Ah, cousins!" And they kind of look at him and they're like, Lucio, come. And kind of hug him and just sort of look at you all. And they're like, have a seat. And as your eyes continue to scan, there is a strapping blonde man, probably of about an age as Brother Uriah. Most everyone here looks almost sort of half-starved and their spirit half-broken, but he doesn't. His shoulders are broad and square. He smiles warmly and he just says, "Friends, I realize you've just come off the road, but once you've had a moment to settle in, I would love to buy you around."
How tall is he?
He's about 6'5". No, he's a contender, Tatiana. He's a contender.
Do we know him?
Never seen him before.
Suddenly, everyone wants to buy us around.
Thank you, good sir. Barovian hospitality at its finest, I'm sure.
Yeah, I suppose, in a manner of speaking. Don't let me interrupt. I see your furrowed brow and hushed tones. In fact, let me give you my table. And he does stand up from the largest table and sort of walks over by the hearth and just kind of like smiles and makes a point that he's not listening. Turns away.
Lucio, does that guy like you?
That is Ismark the Lesser, by the way, because Tatiana, I mean, you know, back there in the wagon, I didn't really get a chance to, I mean, we could, I mean, this tavern is an inn, if you want to,
I will throw you in the fire. I will mold you into a ball with the palms of my hands. Do not enjoy this.
yeah, like,
I grab him by the collar and I open the door to the inn and I throw him far into the road.
When you're doing this, like, you can't throw me out of my cousin's establishment, and all 3 of the women in unison say, "Yes, you can," as you throw him out. And he's like,
I will buy them
I
around.
close the door and do
I'll be waiting outside.
smacking of the hands.
During all of this, Fen probably notices that Uriah is quite intent on getting her attention. Just Fen, perhaps if we could.
Yes.
I'll find sort of like a if such a thing as a secluded corner exists.
The room is about 60 foot square. One thing you're all catching on to is people in Barovia kind of keep to themselves, so they're both trying to be far enough away that you can't hear them. So it is kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, so
I get
probably
the ales.
at
Raise-
our table.
Raise hands if want ales.
When
It's a bit early for me.
Okay, one for
Tatiana,
everyone then.
a very small man who is behind the bar just cleaning the glasses. When you say ale, just lines up 6 of them on the bar. Doesn't say a word to you. Just,
I take 3 of the stein handles in each hand and carry them over.
One of the dark-haired women just yells out to you, "Would you like a job?"
I have a job. And then I walk away from an explosion.
Slow motion.
I turn in slow motion away
explosion.
from them. I don't have to explain.
Yeah. Whatever it is, you're clearly good at it.
True.
Yes.
A little
During this
minor
time,
illusion, a little explosion behind her.
Yes. So cool.
Anything for Tatiana.
during all of this, I would like to cast See Invisibility just to make sure any shenanigans going on is from us and not from anybody else.
Except for kind of an ever-present population of ghosts that you're just kind of becoming used to now.
Yeah, fair.
Actually, I will tell you even more than that. If you want, you don't even have to use your spell because your orb would allow you something unless you're attempting to keep that thing hidden, Nahara.
Would the orb be able to see anybody who is casting invisibility on themselves, not just one that has
the orb
deceased?
grants you true seeing. You can see through anything with the orb.
Well, then I shall do that because my spell slots are precious.
I got you.
So I will, yes, holding the orb in my hand, I'll just kind of casually take a look around the room and see if there's, just kind of clock everybody's behavior.
There is no indication that anybody is mystically obscured or anything other than they are.
Okay, I will keep it up just in case. I'll still hold on to it.
While this is going on, Uriah will just sort of like tug at Fenn's sleeve and just like, Fen, there's some rather pertinent information that I really should impart to you.
All right, let's find a corner.
Yes. It regards your quarry.
Oh, really?
Yes. The one you seek.
Go on.
I fear we have been rather close to said quarry without realizing it.
And you see her ears kind of like, I mean, she's dumb here, but her ears kind of perk up. And you could just see that look on her face. It's super intense concentration. And you see like her fangs even come down a little bit.
In fact, said quarry has been in direct contact with us several times.
I'm sorry, what?
Do you remember us telling you of several individuals back at the carnival when Isolde nearly took my head from my neck? It was because your quarry had been posing as a Darkonian noble. Well, yes, and had approached me and given me something. Well, that's not the only time our paths have crossed. It seems that the collar is able to take on many forms.
Quick out of character question for the DM. At the mention of the quarry's name, is there a reaction from the thing?
Vibrating rage, but you've become accustomed to this. But it's
that would be external.
Not currently. Depends on what else you're about to find out, honestly.
Okay then. And you You see Fen struggling not to break into her dread form at this news.
Yes. In fact, I think it's been for its own amusement, toying with us.
Sounds like the caller.
Indeed. Tell me, you've never met Rose, have you?
I did at the circus, at the carnival.
Finn, you did
Yes.
see Rose at the carnival. The first time that you brought all of them there. You also realize you'd seen her more than once before that. She's beautiful. You couldn't help but notice, but you never really interacted with her.
Yeah, I just noticed when she tried to get very friendly with Desmond, shall we say.
That is the first real interaction you'd had with her, yes.
Yeah.
Well, now, I'm not quite sure of all the details, whether it's perhaps taken her form, or it was always her, but it's been taking on Rose's form, either way.
And in a moment of just rage, uncharacteristically, Fen starts to grab for Uriah because she's just so incensed that the caller's been right there within reach.
Yes, I do. I do. I had to tell you. This couldn't be kept from you.
From behind her, the sword sheathed on her back, you see a bright red light coming out of the hilt, and it physically starts to vibrate.
Which you should remember from his previous run-in.
You've seen this sword before.
Is this Nepenthe?
It is.
Yes. Yes. I know how important this is to you.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to tell you. You're not going to get very angry like a soul and take things out on the messenger, are you?
No. I didn't save you all those years ago to kill you now.
No, I didn't think so.
I might need to go out into the forest and hunt. Or let Nepenthe feed.
Finn, you do hear in your mind, he knew. They all knew.
No, we weren't here.
What?
Nepenthe.
Weak, useless.
Look,
and I just reach back, not like I'm drawing it, but I just kind of try to calm Nepenthe a little bit. Soon. And I say that just in my head. I don't say it out loud, so I don't freak out Brother Uriah anymore. Mm-hmm. But you would see Fen almost like reaching back, almost like she was petting the sword and the scabbard.
Close enough, even though you're speaking sort of in hushed tones. All of you see this red light start coming from the sheath. And again, all of you have seen Nepenthe. You know exactly what that is once essentially the light comes on in this dark tavern. You do notice none of the people in the place, if they notice, they don't let you know they notice. None of them are like, they're all like,
my name's Bennett.
They know how to survive in Brovia.
I know how important this is to you and how important it is to you to free your beloved. Mm-hmm. I could not keep this from you.
Thank you. Well, no point in trying to conceal what I'm carrying anymore now, is there? And I just kind of, if there's anything that was concealing it from view, I dispel that.
Yep. It's the sword is on her back, which it is a very large two-handed Holy Avenger, a black blade with a red tinge, although she does not unsheath it. You've all seen it before. Again, you know it immediately.
You know what it means that I carry this, right, Uriah?
I assume you mean to end the caller with this, yes?
Yes. Absolutely.
And this will free Isolde.
Yes. It may cost me a lot more than I want to pay, but she'll be free.
Tatiana, were you about to say something?
As I'm walking by, I kind of see that they're having a private conversation, so I go to the table that was left by the handsome blonde guy as I drink my beer and stare at him. And then I say, okay, so you already told her? Great. Desmond and I also apologize for what we've done. Now you know everything.
After hearing Tatiana, I'll just pop out and go, for the record, I never trusted her. And then I'll pop back in.
For the record, neither did I.
For the record, I never trusted her or other things.
And right when she says that, Desmond kind of comes up to the other side of Finn and just, we should talk.
No, don't worry, Uriah already told her everything.
You don't know what Uriah told me.
And then Desmond just kind of leans in and is like, I'm sure he didn't tell you everything.
Well, if we could have 5 minutes to talk.
I'll let you know, but let me know when you're free.
As this is all happening, I will kind of mage hand switch Tatiana's empty mug with my full mug because I'm not drinking it, and try to find out some information about this Mad Mary. I'm going to go look for the owner, the cousin.
Absolutely. And they do bring out bowls of stew and things to for each of you as promised. Again, it is by no means the best thing you've ever had, but it is warm and homemade, and it's not simply trail rations. So, you know.
Amazing! And my ale refilled itself.
We aim to please, yes. You see one of, as you are sort of looking for the owners, one of the three sisters that is still at the front does just sort of motion you over. It's like, is there something I can do for you?
She says that to Tatiana, or
She says that to Nara.
Oh, to me.
Mm-hmm.
Are you? I take it from the looks of this place that this has been an establishment for quite some time. Yes.
Ah, yes. Nothing is new in Barovia, I assure you. I am Mirabelle. This is my sister Alinka. This is my sister Sorvia.
Oh, pleasure. I'm Nahara. These are my, and I just kind of point towards these are my friends back there.
Please allow me to apologize for anything my cousin Lucio said or did or said he would do or did not do, or the boy has a good heart but a soft head.
I really don't know if you want to actually take any of the blame for anything he's done. He's been...
We're too easy on men. We can't let them get away with their behavior by saying that they're not smart.
Yes, and
somewhere in the distance.
They're weird. I hear that in my brain, and while I totally agree with it, I definitely think that he will have his comeuppance at some point during this by our hands. So, yes, we had a very interesting run-in just now with a woman who, even by her own accounts, calls herself Mad Mary.
Yes. She told you she's looking for Gertruda, huh?
Yes, and was it just me, or did something seem a little bit odd about?
Oh, it's very odd. Yes, it's such a beautiful girl. Whenever you could lay eyes on her, she kept her squirreled away in the second story like she was a genie in a bottle or something, or the flower that she kept under the glass. But of course, no flower can live if it cannot breathe.
Right, exactly. That's kind of the feeling that we got. Was this recent or not? Was this a recent event? Because she made it seem as though she's been gone for a week, but truth be told, everything seemed kind of odd. We weren't sure if...
I think it was a week ago that she began her wailing and lamentations and keeping me up all hours with her sobbing. We did not see the girl often. I suppose it's possible it had been longer.
She had never dropped by. I mean, Gertrude had never been here. or seen
Never.
by anyone?
She would not let the girl out of the house. It would be difficult to even know that she had a daughter, if not for on occasion when she would open the door, you would steal a glimpse of her walking by in the background or some such.
Did she carry that doll? Because it seems very odd that a seemingly...
What 17-year-old girl is still clutching at dolls, huh?
Exactly. And so it seemed very peculiar to me.
If you want to know what I think, I do not know. I'm only waging my opinion.
Oh, no,
She was
please.
young. She was fair, as you are fair. I think perhaps she made the acquaintance of some nice young someone and made her escape.
Yes, that seems more likely than having just run off for no reason.
She pulls a pipe out and starts packing it. And she's like,
These are I don't know if I've ever and just out of curiosity she will take it. What do I do?
give me a con save.
Okay, you're gonna have to instruct me on wow, I rolled a natural 1.
You're
on
like,
that.
so is this what I'm supposed to be? Lights, there are colors. In Nahara, this place is slightly less of a fortress than other buildings here. It still is in the sense that there are windows, although they're definitely small. Quite frankly, they're more akin to kill slits than proper windows, but it is not all completely boarded up. But as you turn and look down the road, back down the road that you were coming, it is covered in waist-deep fog. Not the mist, fog. And there is a hunched over woman that is pushing a cart. And she turns and she looks back at you, and you know immediately she's a night hag. She's a night hag like Granny is. And she sees that you see her, and you see her eyes narrow, and she sort of pulls her hood up again and continues just walking down the road. And she drops something that bounces off the cart into the fog.
Would you excuse me for a second?
However, it's going to take you a second to find your way back to the prime material on that one from hitting the pipe.
Yep, I'm having a trouble
She's like, oh,
navigating.
No, you sit. Yes, I do not want you to fall and scuff your beautiful dress. No, it's here, hands on the table.
I'm fine.
No, just breathe through it. No, this all happens.
What is it exactly that I feel?
Are you all right?
This?
You tell me. I mean, you hit the long bottom leaf and got a 1, so you tell me what Nara feels.
Uriah, everything has been incredibly drab ever since we've got here. Everything is kind of this gray sepia, but suddenly there's so many colors, just everywhere.
Did you
look at my hands?
Did you have some
look at my hands, Uriah? Look at my hands.
They're very nice. Well, perhaps do you want to keep feeling like this, or would you prefer that I stop what you're currently experiencing? Because I can.
I don't know that I've ever experienced. How long does this usually last?
I am the wrong person to ask, but
right,
and now
look when they
I'm
move.
The wrong person to ask. Mirabelle does like hold the pipe towards you, Brother Uriah. She's like, "Oh, would you like to partake? You are friends here. You are customers.
Yes.
You are under our care."
I do appreciate it, but it's a little early in the morning for me. I don't. Yes.
Yeah, it is always sundown in Barovia.
Uriah, look at my hands move. Look at my hands move.
Look, I don't mean to be a buzzkill, as they say, but I do have a spell that could end what you're currently experiencing, unless you prefer to experience it, in which case I will refrain.
Give me a few minutes. This is all very fascinating.
Of course.
Valentine.
I shall be the designated observer.
Oh, good. Then maybe you can come with me. I'm gonna.
I don't think we should go anywhere alone.
Come with me.
While Nahara is seeing into the next world, you see that same handsome man earlier that Lucio called Ismark the Lesser, as promised before, has moved to the other side of the room and sat down by the fire. But when you sort of look in his direction, surveying things, he looks at you and he just sort of makes eye contact for a second and he just goes,
From across the room, I'll establish a telepathic link.
mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, that's new. No, please. I did not mean to make a lady
Stop
come
looking
to me.
around.
I'm more than willing to come to you, of course. You are fascinating, all of you. Can I ask from whence you hail?
Far away from here.
I heard you all say, you talked to Mad Mary, talked about her daughter, offered to help.
Now I'll make my way over and I'll go sit down because there's no point in everybody seeing a weird telepathic link that's not sketchy.
But you said you wanted to help Gertruda. What if I don't know what happened to Gertruda. I hope that poor girl is somewhere happy, honestly, for the first time in her life. But there is a young woman who very, very much needs the help of strong adventurers. I can't do it alone.
Who needs our help?
My sister, my adopted sister, Irina. Irina Kulyana. I'm Ismark Kulyana, the burgomaster's son.
Ismark, why is your sister in danger?
He very much looks to the left and to the right, and he says, "Do you know who the lord of these lands are?"
Yes.
He seems to have designs on her, and I cannot protect her here in the shadow of his castle.
I'll move back to telepathic. So what is it that you want for us to do?
What I want is for the lord of these lands to no longer be, but I don't know that I'm going to be blessed with that, but I surely intend to try. And he grips the hilt of his sword so hard you hear the leather creak. And he says,
Understood.
But for the time being, I would be happy enough to just get my sister somewhere safe.
So you want to get her out of Barovia?
There is no getting out of Barovia, but at least if we can get her out of this village, if we could get her to Valaki, would probably be good. Far enough away that he can't torment her as he has been.
Do you think it possible that the Count, as we've been calling him, has also taken some kind of grip on Gertruda and they are possibly being led somewhere?
Irina and Gertruda are of an age. They are both very fair, but besides that, the parallels end. Young, beautiful girls from this village.
Oh, that's all?
No. You know, when you say it like that, actually.
Naive. Okay. Just an above game question. Directionally, I know Valaki is, isn't that where we came from?
Valaki is where you were told to go.
That's where we are heading anyways. Okay,
Yep.
Excellent. Because we're in the city, like the village of Barovia.
Mm-hmm. Originally, the plan was to go around the village of Barovia completely, but Rose brought you here.
And then stranded us. Okay. Well, we are heading in that direction. I see no problem with escorting her with us. I would have to run it by.
Of course. And I will escort you as well. I may not look like it, but I know my way around a battle. You don't get to be my age in these lands without knowing a thing or two.
Why did we seem so interesting to you?
He sort of looks and he's like, that blue woman is half again the size of a man, covered in scars and
I catch him looking at me,
Yeah.
and I cheers him from across the room.
He points at Desmond. He's like, he also has the look of a man who has seen battle. His armor and weapons are clearly worn and well used. And again, he's still alive. You have a cleric of Ezra who in these lands, having reached his age, again, must know something. You have this other, is that a drow?
Yeah.
fascinating with such a
Can't
weapon.
hear
It's
you.
just such a fearsome look in your eye, ma'am. And you, and she looks at you, Valentine, and he does look at you for a long moment, and he says, "You travel with warriors, yet you wear none of the trappings of a warrior, which tells me that you are either brilliant, powerful, or both."
Observant.
One tries. Helps keep the head on the shoulders.
Noted.
If you meet my sister, you will understand why I would do anything to keep her safe and away from him.
Is she here?
She's at our home. Important point of clarification. He said he's the Burgomaster's son. The Burgomaster wrote the note that you all
Burgomaster's
found.
daughter.
Yes. Does anybody show him this note?
Can everybody hear this? Because I know that we had taken as soon as he started whispering, I took the conversation telepathic. So at this
they don't
point,
know yet unless you tell them.
no,
Yep.
no. So I'm gonna slip back to the group at this point, so we can do a little bit of a rundown. Because I have not done anything to let him know that I am aware of that intentionally.
In the meantime, while that exchange is happening, Desmond, is there anything that you wanted to say to Finn?
Oh, the second that he gets the chance, he's just, "Are you done talking to Brother Uriah?"
I guess so, since he wandered away.
Yeah, you see Uriah on the other side of the room, just sort of acting as a caretaker for Nahara, who's just sort of like,
Who is on her way out the door.
So, if that's the case, I get the feeling he may not have told you everything that happened. We got to know Rose, Tatiana, and I.
Oh.
Yeah, there was a carriage ride, and
Oh,
it was a
and-
fantastic ride, and we
Oh, in the sense that I know. Well, in the sense that I know his soul gets to know.
yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Come on.
What, a brother can get some joy on occasion, like.
Not joy, but you were rude to Rose every time I saw it.
Yeah, because the first time I met Rose, we were watching the tightrope act. She just came out of nowhere. She came on too strong to me, so I just felt like I was concerned. And she's been around. When we were at the house with the toe muffins, she came and brought Brother Uriah's favorite food. She brought me some smoked meats. So she's been around bringing us stuff. So, like, I'm going through it, making everybody foods. And she's like, "Hey, you want to come sit on this side of the carriage?" And I was like, "You know what? Yeah, I do."
Well,
And then we closed the curtain and got to know one another. It was, as far as I knew at the time, it was still Rose. I don't know if Rose is an entity or the what, but I do know that I needed some stress relief, and I had a great time, to be fair.
no, you're having fun.
And it was fun.
And Finn is just kind of giving you that look like, "Why you bragging on when I'm here without my woman?"
I mean, how many times have we gone back to the carnival and you got to go hang out with Isolde and I went and had some breakfast?
I mean, I got nothing, but how is this relevant to, like, why did you feel the need to tell me this?
More because I know how you and he just kind of looks at her back and your friend there feel about your efforts and your targets and your goals. The last thing I want to do is be a reason for you to dislike one of us or to try to tell you something about us that we want no parts of. So I would rather you hear it from me than somewhere else, especially if, let's say, it comes to be the case that that is your target. When we get there and you hear it from them, having not heard it from me or Tatiana, how would you be feeling in the moment? And that.
I just kind of lean up into Desmond's ear. Do you honestly think that that moment of stress relief would matter once I had my target that close within my grasp?
No. But you know what I like to do? I'll take chances. I'd rather tell you now than find out.
And I just, not in a condescending way, but in a be glad I like you way, kind of pat Desmond on the cheek. I actually didn't need to know. I was good.
Sorry. I don't want to be somebody to mess around and find out, so I'd rather let you know from me. So, you know. And also, to be fair, I saw you looking at one time. You probably were just as curious as I was. And it was like...
About Rose? Yeah, she's pretty, but she creeped me out a little bit. The way she always just managed to show up just at the right time.
That was the reason why I was always rude. But then it was like, you know, at the moment, I was just like, all right, so the last person that I trusted.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like brisket. And speaking of, and he's like, the second he says brisket, he just like pulls out. There you go. That's more of the previous mix that I made for you. I told you I was going to make you some more. There you go.
And Fen just slides in a belt pouch. And she actually gets real, like you see her demeanor change. And she actually puts a hand over Desmond's heart. Look, I know you're hurting. I don't begrudge you any fun or pleasure. But know that when the time comes, and I just tap Nepenthe, I'm going to do what I got to do. But as far as I'm concerned, you're not part of my target. All right, we're cool.
Always. Appreciate that.
You see Sorvia, one of the three women that owns this place, looks at you, Desmond, and says, "What is that heavenly scent? Perhaps we could arrange some sort of trade."
Trade? Of what? Oh, this? And he just pulls out another packet of brisket. He's just got pockets full of it.
Yes.
You want to try it?
Share that with us. And we will reveal the future to you. Well, not us, but we will help you get the future revealed to you. Madam Eva must do the revealing. But if we ask nicely, she will get you in.
That just kind of leans to Fan and just, they want to show us the future for some brisket. That seemed a fair trade to you.
Could be. I mean, I, and by extension, our friend, probably could use a little downtime.
Do we have an accord?
Here's brisket.
There you go. He just like casually tosses it.
You hand it to her, and she goes over behind the bar, and she pulls out a tambourine, a small thing. Nothing really that special. She says, "Show this to Madam Eva. Tell her it came from me. She will take care of the rest. My name is Sorvia. Sorvia.
Sorvia. And it's Madam what again?
In the back of the throat. Sorvia.
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 Yeah. Yes. Show her this. She will take care of you.
And what's her name again? So I say it correctly?
Sorvia. Oh, her name? Madam Eva. She's Madam Eva. Everyone knows
gotcha.
Eva. Her name is easy. It just rolls off the tongue. Eva. You'd be surprised how many people call her Eva, though, which is odd. Eva.
Eva?
Forever, ever. Meanwhile, Valentine, as you are sort of bringing this handsome man back towards the group to explain the plight of his sister.
Actually,
Irina.
I'd like to leave him there.
Leave
and
him
I
there?
would like to return to the group specifically.
There is no group. It's just Tatiana sitting with her stew. Valentine, everybody left me.
Well, I'll give Tatiana the rundown. That's my group.
Nahara,
Yes.
as you finally open the door again, and it feels like your knees and ankles are too big. That's weird. Never noticed that before. But as you're trying to walk and open the door, Uriah, you see it too. It was a sunny day when you came in before, but there's waist-deep mist. And far down the road, 2 houses past Mad Mary's, you see standing outside of a house, you see the cart with this hunched woman. And you see 2 people saying, please, 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 no, please, he's our pride and joy. Well, you know what the price is. And she's pulling a kid by his arm. And he's like, no, please, please, please. And she goes, nah, don't fight, boy. It'll just make you gamey. And starts putting him into a sack.
I say.
And that's a good place for us to take a little break. So we'll take a quick 10, and we'll jump back in here and see where the rest of all of this is going to go. So don't go nowhere. So we'll be right back. welcome back. Before we jump back into our story, I of course want to thank our patrons who literally make it possible to do what we do. So these are all our top tier patrons here. Aaron Duran, Alan Zozo, Aurelia Rolfe, Black Watch Ronan, Brad Demogd, Chris Lewis the Pretzel Bear, Christopher Clindering, Craig Savage, Kralis, David Bonney, Donald Scott Massey, Ducati, Flannel Fries, Forrest S. Moore, Graffumbly, Guy Vanderbrink, Ian Brooks, or again, Ian Brooks. I don't know why my mind just says Ian. I wouldn't expect it. It's just what my mouth wants to say. So, Josh Oland, Just Link, Kyle Garrett, Lady Voronkova, because every time I see it, I'm like, Voronika, what? But it's not that. It's Lady Voronkova. Matthew, Mecha Shiva, Mercy Malunas, Mr. Albert, Nathan Crowder, Nick Bernard, Nightcrawler, Packery 101, Patch, Project Wolf Bear, Reese, Reverse Aquamath, Ronan Monkey, Rosie and Sean at Sip Happens, Rum Soaked Chicken, to Queen Bee, Val Darnar, Road, War on Reality, Wee Nuck and Futz, and Zort 1. Again, thank you all so very much for your support. You literally make it possible to do what we do. With that being said, on with our story. Valentine, inside the house, having no idea what Nahara, or inside the tavern rather, having no idea what Nahara and Brother Uriah have just witnessed, what would you like to do?
So in the bar is just Tatiana?
Well, theoretically, Nahara and Uriah have just sort of opened the door, so I mean, they're kind of right there. Desmond and the room is only 60 feet square. Desmond and Finn are just sort of off to the side, but I mean, you very clearly see them, and you're there with Tatiana.
As I'm walking back to Tatiana, I'll just shoot telepathic messages to the rest of the group just to be like, table meeting, table meeting.
You know, 1 ale, nothing to me. 2 ales, still barely feel it. 6 ales, I'm starting to feel it.
Tatiana, you need something?
One of the Alinka comes over and puts down 2 more steins in front of you, and she says, "Don't worry, darling, Lucio's paying for all of this," and just sort of slides them towards you, Tatiana.
Okay, 2 more in just a second. Let's get through this part first before it gets worse.
Question, when Valentine makes mental contact with me, am I able to respond to her through the telepathic link? Then Valentine, you just hear, "Alarum, alarum, alarum."
Okay, so as I instead arrive at the table to go see Tatiana and go, hold on, and then I'll turn and run over to Brother Uriah.
Where is the party?
Whereas my response was just like, BRB!
Oh, hell. I take the 2 steins and I leave the building too.
It's all of you, when you make your way to the door, see the scene as described. Again, what was a sunny day is now waist deep in mist, or fog, not the mist. And there is this hunched figure, which you all watch put a kid into a bag and then put him on the cart and lash him down and just start pushing it. And the parents are still standing there like, please, please, no. Like, they're not fighting, but they're like, no, please. And she says, you knew what you were paying for, and starts walking.
And as he did, Uriah yells out, I say, good woman, hold, please.
And I'm just nudging.
I'm no such thing. Yes, Nahara?
Oh, I was just nudging Uriah, like, see, I thought that was Granny, but it's not Granny, and I saw something. Just a moment. Give me a moment.
Granny? She's the sort of thing that Granny is?
I thought it was her. It's not her.
Seen Granny. You might recall at Pickwick Market in times long past, one of your very first trips to the carnival. So you know what a night hag looks like. She definitely looks like the same type of thing, but not the same individual. But
in a moment of clarity, I'm looking around for that object.
Because of your orb giving you true sight, which helps you pierce through all of these things, you see all right, I'm trying to figure out exactly what it looks like.
Suspense building.
There we go. Hang on one second. Sorry.
While she does that, I'd like to cast Mind Sliver on the hag.
a small mincemeat pie just sitting on the cobblestones. You're sure, Nahara, it fell off of her cart.
Oh, this is not what I expected.
Mm-hmm.
All right, perhaps Tatiana would like it. And I just kind of pocket it.
Mm-hmm.
Mine's liver on the hag. Sorry.
You're gonna mind sliver the hag?
Yes, please.
Did you say my name?
What's the save on your mind sliver?
15.
Hmm?
Intelligence.
You come out and like, pow, and you see she just sort of flinches a little. And she turns around and looks right at you, Valentine. And again, she's some distance away, and she just says, I don't want any trouble with you lot. I'm just doing business here. Hush, you. I assure you, no one ever wants to pay the debt once it's called in, but they knew what they agreed to. And she turns and, like she's
Well,
gonna keep
ma'am, you
pushing the
didn't
cart.
ask if I wanted trouble.
Yes,
So question for
Are
you.
we
As
just
this is
doing
going
this?
on,
well,
Brother
hang on,
Uriah,
you're right.
Brother Uriah just is casting protection from evil on himself.
Yeah. Yes, Van.
Quick question.
Mhm.
How far away is this hag?
She's probably about 60 feet. She's some distance down the road, and she's not moving quickly. But I mean, she's just like.
I'm gonna pop dread form and run up on her.
You come flying up. Are you gonna fly up and attack, or just fly up and get in her way?
I'll fly up and attack. I'm getting the kid back.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack.
Esmond's right behind Finn.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm using. Oh, you didn't give me stats for Nepenthe, so I have no idea what.
Well, you're not supposed to draw the Panther. You about to?
No, I wanted to, but I'm out here like the Witcher with two swords.
Yep.
18.
Hang on one second here. You come and bring your sword down, and she doesn't even move. She just kind of raises her hand, and you see a shimmering blue field appears around her as you clang off of it. So fearsome. Okay, wait, hang on. Could we just talk this through? I have to be somewhere. Old Bone Grinder hates it when I'm late. I don't have time to destroy you. Can we just talk?
No.
Yeah, you can start by answering some questions.
Wait, what?
What
And
have
she
these
very
people
much
done?
looks at you, Nahara, and she like comes creeping much, much closer, and she goes, "Oh, oh,
Yes.
oh,
Is something amusing?
Yes, I understand. You've gotten a little peek at what we do. You wouldn't know it to look at me, but I was as comely as you once. Well, that's a lie, but I was more comely than this. Actually, that's also a lie. But either way, welcome to the family.
I'm not part of your family.
Oh.
Nor am I like you.
I think those cards in your pocket say quite different, but fine.
Dear lady, you clearly,
Shantae, sir.
yes, but you clearly have conducted business with these poor people here and taken their child in payment. What was the bargain that was struck?
Well, you hear the woman says, his name is Lucian. And she goes, I mean, it doesn't matter what his name is. I gave them exactly what they asked for. And she produces one of those little meat pies.
Can I do something while they're talking?
Absolutely.
I would like to cast greater invisibility and go grab the kid.
Okay. Give me a sleight of hand.
Not bad. 17?
Here. You absolutely go and are able, because the sack, she did put him in a sack and tie him down, but it wasn't like a bag of holding or anything. It's like burlap, basically.
Yeah.
The moment you unwrap it, he's like squirming in things, but you absolutely are able to pull him away.
I'll pull him away and just kind of like shove him back towards his parents for inconveniencing us.
Which, of course, once he's off the cart and she turns, she's like,
I'm sorry. What do these children have to do with your business?
They are a valid form of compensation.
Well,
Old bone grinders
What?
has all manner of uses for children.
Those parents don't look like they're very much in agreement to your compensation.
Of course. Whomst among us has not reached an accord, provided a service, and when it was time to be compensated thusly, had someone try and back out of the deal?
BS detected. I would like to roll an insight check for that.
Absolutely. The glasses are a nice touch.
Yeah.
Ben is like, we don't normally traffic in humans.
We do things differently than you do, I suppose.
Well, surely, if your agreement was with the parents, then
That's a
then
30.
it is not with the child.
A 30?
Yeah.
She's not lying. What she is telling you is true. A deal was a deal. She did her part, and they didn't want to pay up. She's telling you the truth.
Nahara just
getting-
looks back at the parents like, what the F? Like, how?
They are just crying and weeping. With that same 30, I'll roll this into it. They do seem genuinely concerned about him and happy to have him back. He's crying, and they're crying, and everyone is hugging.
Can I just cast a message quick to one of these parents?
Absolutely.
And just, okay, what is going on here? How could you give your child up as some sort of agreement?
I am a man of frail will, and it's just so beautiful. You wouldn't understand how beautiful it is, and nothing here is beautiful.
What is beautiful?
It's the pies, the pastries, what they show you.
Pastries.
Anyone? Yes, the first
No.
taste is free.
That's fine, thank you.
No,
I'll
you
go
all
on that.
look so big and strapping, especially you. Look at the size of you, girl. And she does hold out one to you, Tatiana.
3.
Of course.
I'm full of stew, and I shove it in her face.
But-
See, I can say no to treats.
No need to be rude. For the record, it is simply a pittance. A mere 2 gold pieces would square things with me, and I will leave these people in peace.
Here are 2 pieces of gold.
Oh,
Uriah, what are you doing?
well,
I am buying this child's freedom.
you are. I release my claim on Lucian Jarov. To tell you the truth, I would have left, and the moment you all left, I would have circled back and grabbed the boy anyway, but not now. A deal is a deal.
Then neither of us owes the other anything.
Totally square. Would you like a pie?
Well, yeah,
I
no,
would
I
not.
think that you should, for the 2 gold, you should get a pie.
I don't think
I
we
don't
want
think we
those
should get
pies.
these pies.
Yeah. Hey,
yeah,
another
I have
muffin?
one here if
Would you
anybody
like-
I think we
wants
should
one.
leave whatever those pies are, wherever
no,
it is.
Perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot. My name is Morgantha, and these are dream pastries. When you consume one, you will fall and have the most restful sleep of your existence and see the most beautiful things your mind can conceive of. They are a slice of paradise in this dull and difficult and futile existence. That's why the people of this village love them so. Look at
The
this
second she
place.
finishes that sentence,
Mhm.
Desmond looks at the father and says, "You sold your kid to take a nap."
You're terrible parents.
You kill them and make sure the child gets better care.
They
Terrible
are
people.
hugging him, and they just say, We forgot ourselves in our desperation.
No, you forgot your son in your desperation.
I didn't think she would really take the boy. Who would do that? Who would trade a kid for a pastry?
You must be new here.
Honestly,
You've seen a lot.
she would have been the evil one if she
would.
didn't fulfill her side of the bargain. Like,
True.
you did make the deal. She's just fulfilling it. I'm on Morganta's side.
What is your... I mean, okay, what can I call you? You know the name. What can I call you?
Scary.
Thank you, Fairy. You are as wise as you are powerful. Well,
True.
if you
I
all
think we
don't
should
mind-
crush them.
Well, no,
I don't think they're
don't
worth
want to
it.
disrupt the customer chain there. Our business is concluded and none of you wish to have one of our pies. Might I be allowed to continue on my way?
Yes, go.
The pie does sound good, though. We have to admit the pie sounds
We
good.
have one. We have one.
Before you
she
go,
does stop and she turns back around, Tatiana, and she says, you could maybe eat it later. It's
Right there, Desmond
Oh.
takes out a packet of brisket that he made specifically for Tatiana and is like, I was saving this for later. Do not eat that pie here.
Going full Scooby snack.
I eat the brisket. Desmond, I will
before you-
remember this. You owe me one.
She turns.
Thank
before
and
you
she,
go, Morgantha, before you make your way, who is this bone grinder you spoke of?
Oh, you don't know?
We are travelers.
No.
She stops and she says, I don't know that I need to say too much about old Bone Grinder yet, but I tell you what, in the interests of helping out my niece here, and she motions at Nahara, I might be able to give
Niece?
you a little bit of information. She kind of looks at all of you and she says, I can see you all are Outlanders. You come here. And she is looking each one of you up and down, and she goes, you seek an audience with him. And she does just motion towards the castle. Your strength is insufficient. You will be destroyed, although I would be willing to share with you a couple of pieces of information that may help you survive. On the
Speak.
house, of course.
Let's go insight check.
Yeah, absolutely.
While they're
18.
all dealing with the
Gu-
hag, I would just like to be
guidance.
wrapping my tentacles around the parents.
Actually, I'm gonna roll this into your previous 30, Nahara, because 30 is godlike success. She's still not lying to you. Either she's not lying or she is the single greatest liar in the history of the plains. Nahara, you're aware of this.
Go on. What makes you so sure?
She looks at you, Nahara, and she looks at you, Valentine, and she says, you two are not the only undead that are at odds with him. There is the
Clearly,
fallen knights of
this
the
place is
Order
full
of
of
the
undead.
Silver Dragon. You might locate them west of Valaki. They might aid you in your battle. And, she looks to the left and right, and she says, I will make a deal with you, Nahara. And she does call you Nahara. You have not told her your name, but she says it out loud.
This is going into a message domain.
At a time and place of your choosing, with whatever safeguards and friends you wish to have about, you will consume that. And she points at the pie that you picked up. And you will see your own vision. Give me your word that you will do this, and I will tell you a secret right now.
It'll be our trip sitter. It's okay.
I'm not sure you should eat that floor pie.
I'll give you a fresh
You
one
do-
if that's the whole
I really wish it wasn't the
If you
holdup.
knew, okay, this is just going on
You're gonna
message wise.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this has been messaged, but as soon as she said Nahara.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, if you knew, since you know who I am, for some reason, if you knew who I was, then you would know that I do not sleep and I do not dream, nor do I need to eat. And so I don't think that your pies will work on me, whatever
And
it
if
does.
I know who you are and you do not sleep and you do not eat, and I think we both know you absolutely dream, even though I'm suggesting you consume it, I must know something you don't,
So what you're telling me is that you just need me to eat this thing that drives people to insanity.
I need you to give me your word that you will consume something that gives you wonderful dreams. I am not your enemy, child.
You're going to need to convince me a little bit better.
I can tell you the location of his most carefully guarded secrets. I will even tell you how to get to them.
And why would you want to give me an act of such kindness?
She very much says out loud where all of you hear, because family is everything, right?
I'm not so sure
My
why you
pies
think
are
we're
getting
family.
cold. Yes or no? I just need your word. And she extends a hand with those same long clawed vice-like fingers that Granny's got, Nahara. I assure you, without my assistance, surely nothing but defeat awaits. She has seen him and points right at Finn. She knows the estimation of what you face.
What?
Is that true?
Oh,
Not
you hadn't
sure.
told them? Apologies.
You seek to sow discord amongst us, I think.
No, I seek to sow discord between you and him. You saw him, and she does look right at you, Finn. Did he seem an easy opponent to you? Did he seem someone that would be brought down on a whim?
I just pull my sword and tilt it right under her chin.
We're back to this.
What is it that you benefit from all of this?
I told you, I want to help you, and I want to impede him. This all seems very straightforward, I think.
And Nahara just kind of takes a hesitant look around and feeling within herself that I'm sure this pie does absolutely nothing to me. Fine. As she extends her hand out.
The moment you shake her hand, you hear in your head her voice tell you what I just sent you. She doesn't say it out loud. And it's not message. Message is like someone's whispering in your ear. You hear this in your mind. Meanwhile, Valentine.
Yeah, I'm just choking out these parents.
As the tendrils have gone, you see Lucian, the little boy, is like, no, mommy, daddy, no, please don't. No, you saved me. No, no, please. You saved me, lady. Don't hurt mommy and daddy.
I won't finish them, but I will turn to the child and I'll kneel while the tentacles stay higher up. And mind you, these tentacles erupt generally from my eyes and mouth. So I'll pull them back into my mouth so that I can speak and kneel down to the child's level and say, I'd like it to be very, very clear to you that these people who made you tried to sell you to a hag. In fact, did sell you to a hag for a quaint nap. So you should not so easily forgive just for blood, because these are the worst enemies you've had yet. I would assume in your, what are you,
7.
8, 14? I don't care.
I'm 7.
Great. These people tried to have you eaten by a hag. Does a 7-year-old understand that?
Yes.
You've eaten before?
Yes.
Great. Know it.
Thank you for saving me.
And I'll turn to the parents and I'll set them back down on the ground.
We swear. We swear on the Morning Lord. We swear. We won't do it again.
Your Morning Lord means nothing to me, nor does your child, quite simply. But it should mean something to you. And they're released enough to speak, at least.
We're sorry.
And I'll turn to Fen. Fen, what do we do with them?
I'd say kill them, but the child would be traumatized. Is there no orphanage? No one better to care for him?
I don't know this place. I don't know.
Maybe a
what that
fighting
would
pit
be
is
like.
this great place for my
There's
childhood.
no shortage of orphans in Barovia. I assure you that.
I suppose we don't need to make another.
Valentine, would you release them, please?
Sure. And I
had
do.
no idea you cared so much for children.
You see they hug each other and very much hug Lucian, but Valentine, you definitely know he's nowhere near as enthusiastic in the cuddle puddle as he was mere moments before type thing. Like they're holding on to him, but he's...
I do not care for children. I care about bad parents. And I care about the awareness that blood does not entitle you to anything.
Tatiana puts her arm around Valentine and says, if people can be frightened into being better people, you've done good work today. I don't know if they can.
I'm just going to lean into the father's ear really quick, and I'm going to pluck a hair from his head. I'm going to go, you mess up again, I'll find you. Do you understand?
I swear I won't.
It won't take me long.
Right when she says that, Desmond comes up on his other side and just...
I've got you something else. If she doesn't get me, I will.
And you see the three of them just go back into their house.
As they walk away, I'm just going to drop the hair. I can't do anything with that, but it seemed like it scared him.
As they go, Uriah is just going to sort of like walk up to them and just say, I have no threats to issue, but I would ask that if you feel the need to dream again, perhaps think instead of dreams of your child's future.
Thank you. Thank all of you. And they do go back into the house. You see Morgantha. Sorry. Morgantha turns and looks at you, Valentine, and she says, you know, you're quite something. Nahara has gotten a tiny taste of the power we wield. There's room for you as well in the sisterhood. We're capable of a great many things.
I feel like you should consider it.
I feel like it's a bad idea.
Does Valentine respond?
Lots of people are capable of great many things. I don't have to eat children for mine.
She opens her mouth like she's about to say something and then kind of looks at the six of you and says, well, we're square, so if you don't mind, I'm going to, And she walks back towards her cart. And she's like, remember, you all heard her promise me she would do it. And she just walks down the road. And you hear, as you notice, after she goes more than about 60 feet, the fog begins to dissipate. You still see her sort of going door to door down until she moves out of sight. She doesn't just vanish, but the fog very much is following her when she leaves.
She's not taking any more kids anywhere, is she?
At least not while you're watching.
We're going to have to do this all over again?
She's like...
Ben puts her sword away. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. Before the hag and the child and all of that, I was coming to get you all for a reason. The handsome man in the bar. He is the burgomaster's son. He asked for our help to protect his sister, which...
Yes, the one from this letter,
the one
yes?
from the letter. He said that he believes that the Count has some kind of hold on her.
I just want to take a moment. Have you all realized how we've been here for what, a night and a half a day? We've already
spent a night.
And already, how many people have asked for our aid?
It is a place in great need. Yes.
When you mention Iskar, Valentine, and you sort of look back towards the bar, you actually see him up on the roof of the bar with a bow, very much drawn down on the hag. And as she starts to leave, he just kind of puts the, doesn't fire the arrow type thing, and just sort of looks at you and salutes. Kind of.
I need you to know that I do not say this often. I've maybe said it once before in my life, and she's right here, but I like this one.
What is it that he wants of us to help his sister?
He just wants us to escort her where we're already going. He said that he would come along and help escort us as well. And as someone native to the lands, that might be more useful. And I just angrily shrug in the direction of Lucian, who's just, I'm assuming still probably laid out outside the bar.
In front of the bar, really.
Yeah.
How many have you got thrown out? Where's he going to go? Yeah.
When you look at him, he gets hit in the side of the head with a rock, but nobody saw who threw it.
Well, I think Morgantha spoke true. I don't think we are ready to face the Count as yet. I think the sooner we leave here, the better. And if we can help someone on our journey to Valaki, then yes, we should do so.
You're right. She was correct. And if we are headed there.
Valentine, you hear Morgantha's voice inside your head. And she says what I'm about to send you.
Oh, dear.
Yes, that's probably best then. We leave here as soon as possible. We take this man and his sister with us.
Right.
And we try to put as much distance between this village and us before nightfall as possible.
Yes, please. I'm a little weary of just how much we have been solicited for help in such a short amount of time when we ourselves are still yet incapable of doing the very thing we're here for.
What was it that she said? There were knights that could help us?
Yes.
She did.
Didn't get to ask her about.
She said they are the fallen knights. She said they're undead. The fallen knights of the Order of the Silver Dragon. And that they are in a ruined mansion west of Valaki.
Well, that's where we're headed.
Right.
And that's where he requests that we take his sister. So
you will see Iskar kind of does very deftly make his way down from the bar and is slowly approaching where basically quite obviously you can see him, so you don't feel like he's sneaking up on you type thing. And he comes and he's like, That was something.
Thank
I
you.
thought I was going to have to put an arrow through her neck, but you all handled that quite, and he looks at you, Valentine, he's like, quite effectively.
Thank you.
Iskar.
No, you're right.
Valentine is very powerful. You should be very afraid of her.
Oh, quite.
And Tatiana.
Iskar Kolyana, for the record.
If
Tatiana,
Valentine could blush.
very nice to meet you. And again, Tatiana, he's almost your size, but do you shake his hand?
I grab like full on wrist very high up on his arm and I squeeze. It's the hardiest handshake you've ever felt. Like maybe some small bones, like wanna crack?
He gives it right back to you, Tatiana. This is no spoiled noble. Like, I mean, he's been around the block. That's you can't fake the forearms, you know? Like that, you gotta earn those. Yeah.
We are still shaking.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Why are you asking us for your help, instead of anyone else?
Valentine, you did tell him your name, right? Or did you?
I did not.
I was about to say, he's like, well, as I said to your friend here,
I just did.
You all clearly are travelers and clearly very capable.
Perhaps we are the only ones here not asking for help.
The people of this town mean well. It's just the weight of this place, the time, it breaks everyone eventually. That's why I want to get my sister out of here.
I think we are resolved to help you, yes? Yes? As he looks around the group.
Yes.
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 I think so.
Anyone who is not convinced, at least meet her. I assure you, she speaks for herself.
Then, if there's nothing else, let us go meet your sister then. Irina, was it?
Yes. She's, our pride and joy. Does anybody tell him about the letter?
I leave that for the Uriah.
Tatiana already forgot about it.
Yeah, he still
Yeah.
has it. He just pulled it out of his pocket. To be honest, we'd heard of the peril your sister is in.
Had you?
Yes, it seems your father had employed some assistance in posting this at the gates to your lands.
Do you let him read
I'm
it?
afraid. Yeah, hand it over. I'm afraid the messenger did not make it to his appointed place. We found him savaged by wolves in the woods.
This is my father's name, and this is my sister's plight, but this is not my father's handwriting. He didn't write this.
Then who did?
Don't know.
What's your father's name?
He says it out loud, even though I don't know it off the top of my head.
Excellent.
That name, yes.
Yeah,
We've heard that
he's
name.
like, you know,
The
his
burgomaster.
name, you know,
He has
we
a name,
all
and it's a
know
good
that
name, too.
He's a burgermaster.
Meisterburger, isn't it? Burgermaster Meisterburger?
Okay, well, that is another mystery.
Sorry, how am I going to forget this? His name is also Kolyan. That's why this is Kolyan the Lesser. They're both Kolyan Indirovich.
Your father is Kolyan the Greater, then, I take it, or the larger?
So-
yes.
He is it is the burgomaster is Kolyan Indirovich. This is he is Ismark, and they call him the Lesser because he basically is in his father's shadow. But Irina is Irina Kolyana because she's adopted.
Interesting.
He did say she's my adopted sister. Like he
Right.
led with that. Yeah.
Right.
So
If your father didn't write this, is there anybody else that you could think of who would have, that is under your father's employ? Anyone that you could think of at all?
to tell you the truth, warning people against coming to Barovia is probably just good advice. Could have been anyone, but why take the time to masquerade as him? Also,
Perhaps.
in our other chat, I've put a picture of what he looks like.
Perhaps it was agents of the Count. I mean, the letter does say, "Do not come here. It is useless to act." Perhaps it would be something that he or his agents would wish spread.
But wouldn't he have allowed the note to be posted rather than have the messenger savaged by wolves?
Unless he's playing three-dimensional chess, in which no, that way lies madness. That way lies madness.
Oh, yeah.
I don't really. Come, please. We can at least discuss this in the safety of my home. And he just motions for you all to follow him.
Is it far?
Nowhere's far here. And he just starts walking in a different direction the way Morgatha went.
I'm going to send a telepathic message to Brother Uriah and just say, as Morgatha was leaving, I was given a warning.
Warning? What manner of warning?
She said that the Vistani are often spies for the Count. They said that he has control over the land and weather, which would definitely explain the sudden darkness and fog, and that within his ranks might be the Vistani. So just something to be aware of.
Yes, I think it possible that anyone within the borders of Barovia could be an agent of his. It certainly was so with Aslan Rex.
As you are generally the first to help someone, I figured you should know that there is no one here we can trust but each other.
I think it's still safe to help children when we must, yes?
Case by case.
Case by case, yes, of course. Yes.
I'll keep walking.
As you all make your way through the village of Barovia, eventually a weary-looking mansion squats behind a rusting... You come across a weary-looking mansion that squats behind a rusting iron fence. The iron gates are twisted and torn. The right gate lies cast aside, while the left swings lazily in the wind. The stuttering squeal and clang of the gate repeats with mindless precision. Weeds choke the ground and press with menace upon the house itself. Yet against the walls, the growth has been tramped down to create a path all about the domain. Heavy claw markings have stripped the once beautiful finish off the walls. Great black marks tell of the fires that have assailed the mansion. Not a pane nor a shard of glass stands in any window. All the windows are barred with planks, each one of them marks with stains of evil omen. All of you give me perception checks.
I'm going to use knowledge from a past life to help me on this.
Tatiana might have gotten a 20. It may not be necessary because her face looks very excited.
Oh, I got a nat
21.
20.
What was that,
21,
Tatiana?
30.
Got a regular 21. Nothing.
Wait,
natural.
what, Tatiana?
21, but not a nat 20.
Right, but Nahara did get a nat 20?
I got a nat 20 for a 29 total.
I guess nobody topped 29. Again, Nahara, it's almost like the vibe of Barovia agrees with you. Strange. You can see all around the house dozens and dozens and dozens of bare-footed footprints and wolf paws.
Are they normal wolf paws sized, or are they...
They are of varying sizes of wolf paws.
Desmond, can I speak to you for a moment?
Of course.
Listen, I know that we have seen large wolves around here, but they seem to be tracking everywhere. of various sizes. Is there something that is there any sort of insight that you can gain from, do you know why, or maybe how soon that they were here, or if these are frequently occurring?
And can I roll perception to see if that's
Give me
something that Desmond can tell?
Give me survival.
Interesting. 24.
Between the two of you, the 24 and the 29, it seems like this house has been beset, just sieged repeatedly by large numbers of barefooted people and wolves. Multiple attacks.
Now, when you say barefooted,
Human feet with no shoes on, not bare footed.
I had to ask.
And no, I have to
Very
clarify. It's an
important.
important point of clarification. Where we have somebody who can be barefooted or barefooted. Have to clarify. Yes.
Do you suppose that they are inside, or have they left?
There's no indication that the house has been breached. Looks like it's holding. And you do hear a voice from inside say, "Turn back, brigands! I will fight you."
Oh, it's all right. We're not brigands, nor bandits, nor rapscallions or ruffians.
Right, we were invited.
I'm a bit of a ruffian.
Ismar kind of stands next to you and says, "And I'm a bit of a rapscallion. It's me, Irina. Open the door." Oh, Ismar. Inside, you do hear as she's moving barricades from the door. And a moment later, the door opens and you all see a young woman standing there who looks strikingly like Nahara. If Nahara were maybe 10 years younger, they're the same person.
Rude.
She's got your same, she's an adopted daughter. She's got your same black hair, your same complexion, everything. She could be you from the past. Oh, hello.
Remarkable.
Hello?
Quite remarkable.
You see,
Is this a jape?
Iskar walks forward and just hugs her, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so glad to see you here." And she looks at you, Nahara, and she goes, You look very. We are both. Iskamark does look, and he's like, I thought it was the ale, and I didn't want to say like you look like my sister because I thought that would be weird.
Nahara absolutely takes her face in her hand and just moves her profile side to side in disbelief.
Nahara, is one of the things that is lacking is you don't, except for your one memory of growing up with your cat, you don't really have any memories of being this age, but you must have looked like her. And she's looking at you the same way. Like she very much reaches up and touches your face.
Do you ever have that dream where you're falling?
No. In touching her face, by the way, she's completely warm. You feel her pulse. She's a living human person. But give me a perception check, Nahara.
All right. Let's see. 21.
But as you're turning and looking at her, and her hair starts to move around, there are 2 pairs of bite marks on her neck, here and here.
And with
You're so
with
beautiful.
message, likewise. I don't mean to be rude, but
She also is 16, 17.
what happened to your neck? What happened to your neck?
Is something wrong with my neck?
And I'll just kind of minor illusion on my neck, what I'm seeing in her neck. This is what's wrong with your neck.
Oh, there's not, I hadn't really stopped to mind my, and she does turn and runs into the house. And Iskar looks at you and looks at her and looks at you and sees the bite marks on your neck, and he's like, no. And he goes running into the house.
You're right. No. And it's gone when he says that.
Also, am I able to get a message to Iskar before he leaves?
I mean, this is all happening right in front of you. I mean, like, you come up to the door of the house, he goes in the house. So, I mean, yeah, you could shoot off a message if you wanted to.
You mean you approached us, saying you look like very interesting adventurers, looked at our entire group and didn't by chance put any of this together? Didn't notice the similarities?
Failed to mention.
Or were you aware and you left it out?
It's a weird choice, either way.
I mean, again, you kind of look like my sister, okay?
Kind of?
It's not the kind of.
It doesn't change what we have to do. And if what you just said is true, it makes what we have to do all the more pertinent.
But I would certainly think that you would bring it up, that you would take some sort of interest in it. You just seemingly casually asked us for our help when either you were aware there was more to it, or you're an absolute fool. Tell me which it is, boy.
Yeah. We can drop this charade of...
You walked outside and apparently a hag was kidnapping children, and now it's now. So...
Okay, well, we can drop the charade of happenstance.
What?
Because this is...
He does actually look to the left and to the right, and he says, do you know her? My father found her out in the eastern woods when she was just a little girl, and she said she didn't know anything about where she came from or who her family was. So if you are some relative of hers, I would love to be able to give her some sort of clarity or background if there's anything you can. Where are you from? Are you the same people? Are you of blood?
Did she have a cat?
I don't know. I don't think so. She's been with us 10 years. I don't remember a cat. Also, would it not have been more strange, if I'd led with, I think you might be my sister's sister or something of that matter?
I mean, if you were going to lead us to your house and just throw it upon us either ways, it feels like something you could have mentioned. Even
At least we got here. Can we just go inside?
I do not take well to being manipulated, and I don't think that you want to find that out the hard way.
Look,
doesn't matter.
I told you, you're either powerful or a genius. Do I seem like I'm lying to you?
Sounds like buttering up.
I'm going to try an insight roll while he's talking to Valentine
Absolutely.
to see if he does seem like he's lying.
Absolutely.
Whether he knew
Here's the
or
problem,
not,
even
what
if he
does
was
it
lying?
matter?
Okay, that's a 28.
Even if he's lying, he was correct. It doesn't matter.
You sense no deception. He's a guy that is in way over his head.
Look, she is a powerful genius. He'd never be able to tell.
And right with all this,
So Uriah just sort of turns to Valentine, who we can tell is upset, and to everyone, and just like, I think our new friend is in earnest. He is not deceiving us, as far as I can tell.
Great. Well, glad to see that nobody cares if I'm upset or not, but that's fine.
Of course you're upset.
Fine.
Of course.
Nahara?
This is quite the development.
I take her hands. I'm sorry. Are you upset?
Yes. Yes, an old hag who was stealing children knew me by my name, which she's not supposed to do around here or for anywhere else that we've been. And now this.
It's a big day. I hug her tight. Oh, your wings. Oh, what? Pardon. It's hard to run. Wings.
It's a long day. It's a lot of information to process. Who is this?
Of course, it's very disturbing, and the thing is, perhaps this will lead to the answers you've been seeking all this time.
That's what it's what I want, but it's what I'm terrified of.
Of course.
You could always go back to pretending you don't remember if you don't like it and just remember all your fun times with us. Or horrifying times with us. Either way.
I just don't know what all of this means.
It is an enigma, to be sure.
It's one thing to be told that you encountered this or that in your life and that or some occurrence that has happened to you that you've forgotten about. It's another thing to see yourself. At least she's alive this time.
Yes, but clearly in peril. The wounds on her neck. Yes. Perhaps it's best if we all reconvene inside and try to determine what is going on, what depths to this mystery can be plumbed.
Brother Uriah, give me either nature or religion, whichever is higher.
Religion, I'll go with.
Did you say they have plumps?
Oh, man. Not rolling well today on these digital dice. That is an 11 total.
You don't know much about what the process of creating a vampire is, actually. Actually, Finn, you also give me, nature or survival, whichever's higher.
I'm going to go with survival because, I get an advantage on either one, so never mind. That is a 16 on survival.
Finn, you also are not very clear on what it takes to create a vampire, because that is not how you received your gift. You were born with it. And outside of having made the acquaintance of Jander Sunstar, you've never known any other vampires. But what you do know from your very long life is that the process of turning someone is a multi-stage process. Although you're not 100% sure how it works.
But it does take more than one interaction, shall we say.
Mm-hmm.
Did I get a chance to see the bite before she ran off?
I would say you saw it when Nahara
I wasn't.
Sort of,
I wasn't like concealing it when that.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know if you were like in front of me or.
Yeah, you would have had a chance to see it.
I just look at Uriah. While I don't know the exact process, turning someone takes quite a while. And those bites look not fresh, but enough that she's forgotten they're there. So someone is in the process of trying to turn her.
I think we all have an inkling who.
Hmm.
Am I just here to watch myself die?
I don't think so. But I would say be careful, because if she is in the process of being turned, she might need blood, as I sometimes do.
We could also consider that maybe she isn't you, but related, if you don't know any of your family and she doesn't seem to have aligning memories of what you've seen. It's possible.
It's even possible that the you we found in Falkovnia was not one of your past selves, but a relative. A sister, perhaps.
one difference, Nahara. You absolutely remember dying in Falkovnia.
Right. No, that I remembered that. I remembered being there. I have no memories of this land except for those dreams of falling.
Yes, and the carriage, yes?
Yes, that was more of a vision. But yes.
Could it be that you weren't remembering something that happened to you, but seeing through someone else's eyes, perhaps even hers?
It could be. I mean, you all remember your relatives. You wouldn't. There's resemblance, yes, but it's not that you look exactly alike. It's a little unsettling.
I quite strongly resemble my relatives, but I'm rather a special case.
Right. Well, I don't.
What are the
I don't
odds
know.
of you both being clones?
Are you all going to enter the house?
Right before I step in, I just want to take a last look with the orb.
Nothing magically obfuscated anywhere around.
What choice do I have now? I'm already in it. Fine.
The interior of the mansion is well furnished, yet the fixtures show signs of great wear. Noticeable oddities are the boarded up windows and the presence of holy symbols in every room. The burgomaster is in a side drawing room on the floor, lying in a simple wooden coffin surrounded by wilting flowers and a faint odor of decay. And you see is Iskar comes into the house. He stops by the coffin and he very much makes a holy symbol of Lathander over himself and just pays his respects, and then continues running into the next room, which you can kind of see through, where Irina is kind of looking at herself in a piece of polished bronze hanging up as a mirror, and she's like, oh no, and he very much walks up and hugs her while she's clearly kind of starting to panic a bit.
Oh. I didn't mean to. Do you not remember that happening?
I mean, I remember his eyes, and I remember he just seems so hungry.
Who?
Him.
Yeah, I think we know who she's referring to, and certainly no need to speak his name aloud.
I just wanted to be sure. I didn't.
I don't remember him. Oh no.
Uriah, isn't there anything you can do?
Perhaps I can. With your permission, miss, I am a healer.
Hmm?
Might I?
Yeah.
All right, and yeah, we'll start off with see how a cure wounds does.
Mm-hmm. It's, again, when you touch her flesh is warm, Uriah. She is not dead. And when you cure the wounds, the holes on her neck close up. And she does seem like she breathes a little easier.
Just to be safe, while I'm doing this, I do raise my eyes of the grave. I'm pretty sure that she's fine, but I will actually cast a glance over at the coffin.
She's not dead, and he's not undead either. He's just dead. There's no undeath in this room. Well, besides the undeath you brought with you into this room. There's no undeath in this room. Mm-hmm.
I am gesturing to the coffin. I'll look at both of them and say, I'm so very sorry for your loss.
You see Iskar sort of looks up and she just says, there was Every night they came again and again and again and again, and to the point that his heart couldn't take it.
They?
3 nights ago, he simply collapsed.
They? We saw the tracks.
The wolves
and
the
what
undead,
else?
the minions of him.
Yes. With your permission, I do know an incantation which would see that your father sleeps peacefully. If I may perform it.
You see Irina very much comes towards you and she says, we have to bury him. We have to bury him in the cemetery. I know Iskar wants me to go to Valaki, but I can't leave him here on the floor. We have to bury him.
Yes. Burial, important, but this spell specifically will ensure that he rests peacefully. If I may?
Yes, please. Please.
I will cast Gentle Repose on the body. And
you know immediately, Brother Uriah, when you look at him, their story he looks like he's been dead about 3 days. You know, he was a man probably in his late 50s to early 60s, dead from some sort of heart failure.
Okay, yeah. So I don't think he was killed by undead, but just to be safe, let's cast the Gentle Repose on that. And sorry, do you need a total for the healing that I did to her?
No.
Okay.
Uriah, if you have any questions or if you're curious and want to ask them, I can help you with that. Although I don't think the family members should be around.
Speak with Dad.
Oh, well, we should do that before I cast this spell, because what I'm about to do will preclude that from working.
We're in a parlor, and you're going to do a parlor trick. I want to see it.
Also, it might be quite disturbing for them.
Yes, I don't think it should be around the family. But this is only if you have questions.
I'll be honest.
Ismark, are you not going to offer your guests food and beverage? Perhaps you and your sister should go
That's why I offered to buy you food and beverage back at the tavern. I mean, we consumed most of our wares here while we were beset. It's a small miracle that they've stopped over just the last few nights. It's the only reason I was able to leave.
Just go in the kitchen and find some dirty water. Take your time. Oh, fine. I'll miss the show. And I take them each in my arm and drag them into a different room.
You see, while you're dragging Irina, she just looks at you and she's like, do you know where she's from? Because she looks just like me. And she pulled her out of the room.
I'll tell you as much as I know. It's not very much.
Mm-hmm.
Uriah will look to Nahara and say, I know of which you speak, and with Ezra's help, I could perform the same function. Is it perhaps disrespectful, do you think? Or does our need outweigh any other concerns?
Well, I would say that it's up to you, but if there's anything that we can find, perhaps it would give their family some sort of peace of mind. Or maybe perhaps we find some way that specifically that we could help that we wouldn't know otherwise. But again, it is a bit much and I don't want to disturb the family. So I leave that up to you. If you have any questions for him, I can help you.
None specifically. None that could not be addressed, perhaps, to the brother. I think it best, perhaps, we set him to rest. And perhaps if we can bury the body, I'm not sure if she's willing to leave without that being done. Or perhaps
right.
Perhaps a cremation. That might be quicker and is certainly respectful.
No, they specifically asked for a burial. So
They
I
did.
don't know.
They did. That is their wish. I think perhaps I shall simply cast Gentle Repose, if that is all right with you.
Me? No, of course.
Well, we do have concerns. We have information that could be gathered.
I peek my head back in. Are you doing it?
We're just having a word.
You do see Irina looks at you, Tatiana, and she goes, "You're so strong. Would you please help us carry our father's casket? None of the villagers will help me. They all avoid us. They avoid me because of him. But Father Donovan, he would be able to put our father to rest with our ancestors. And then I will go to Valaki or anywhere else that you ask."
When you say him, you mean like him, like that? You know.
No, my father. Put my father to rest. It gets confusing with all the hymns. I want to get away from him.
We need to change some pronouns around here. I'm getting so sick of it. Do you not think that this priest, you think he'd help you?
Yes. He's a great friend.
Yes, well, we should move expeditiously. I think it best that we be long gone from here by sundown.
Wait, are you not going to do the thing? And I can let them back in the room?
It's all right.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
What thing are you?
Just setting your father to rest here. Just there we are.
Cleric stuff.
Tatiana. Tatiana. I asked her if she would help, but I ask you all if you would help transport the coffin to the cemetery so Father Donovan could perform the last rites over our father. My brother and I constructed it out of wood that we reclaimed here from this very mansion, which is not at all what any of us wanted, but...
Certainly we will help you. It's kind of our thing.
Valentine.
I'm going to telepathic message Tatiana and just go, "Oh, we've helped so many people today."
I know, I'm exhausted. When do we get to eat and drink? Never mind, we did that. But yes.
I'm just tired of helping people. I'm not actually tired. Just feels too good.
Valentine, you do see Ismark is very much staring at you. And he kind of walks up quietly and he says, "You're the genius. What was I supposed to say?"
Things here are very strange and hard to explain, but my adopted sister looks very similar to your friend, and it would help me greatly if you would come and meet her and help her. And then some groveling.
I would say I will make a note for next time, but hopefully this is the very last time I will have to impress upon the kindness of strangers.
Good, we're running out.
And that is a good place for us to stop.